Hello everybody, my name is Eric. It happened again. Another rat in the Arch user repository has been caught. Luckily, this one was also removed, although it took a few hours, and this one is extremely well named. So, why is this clever? Because if you've ever used Arch Linux, we can actually probably, we'll see if we can do this, if I can show you this. So this is how you install the real one. Now, this is Google Chrome, right? We'll do that. And look what it's actually called, right? Google Chrome Stable. Now, this is the real one, not the malware one. Now, I already have this installed, so reinstalling this doesn't actually do anything for me, and this is not the malware. But I have actually made the mistake of trying to AUR clone Google Chrome Stable before on new systems. Luckily, at that point, it didn't exist. So that's why I was especially concerned about this. Yes, read your package builds, guys, but this is pretty sneaky. Now, what's interesting as well is the username of the uploader, Forzen on top. Now, Forzen is a streamer, for those of you who don't know, this guy. He's pretty popular. And as it would so happen, I'm not going to go deep into this, and I'm not going to unmask the guy, although I will, so that we're clear to the guy, but not to anybody else, I'm going to refer to him as Mr. Z. So Mr. Z has been known in the community of this streamer. Mr. Z also used the same username as the previous AUR ratter. So I think it's pretty likely that these are both by the same guy that I'm going to call Mr. Z. I don't want to deal with the headache of unmasking him right now, but if that's needed to be done, it can be done privately. So let's look at the specifics here. The Arch user repository is a popular resource for Arch Linux users, yeah? By a rat. Disguised itself as browser-related packages. So that was another similarity. Carrying another hidden rat script. This one is a different Golang rat as far as I can see, although it looks very similar. Now, I believe the source they're using for the match is from VirusTotal, so I'm not sure if this is. Now, the one that was used previously is called Chaos Rat. While these do look quite similar, they appear to be different. That's what I was just checking, like. And we can see how this is the interface for it. This is all on GitHub. I've got a nice disclaimer, which I will reiterate. Educational purposes only. Do not use this. Don't. And especially if you're going to be a goof and use and reuse usernames across websites, don't be doing this. You're just going to make a fool out of yourself. It's not worth it. I will say, while the guy isn't necessarily smart, pretty good typo squat here. So then the .install ran a Python command that executed remote code every time the Chrome browser was launched. So that was a bit smarter. Now, it was removed pretty quickly, but I imagine this one had a fair number of downloads. Now, you can check if you have it like this, so we'll try that. Good news. We're good. Now, we've also got a VirusTotal hit here, and we can see a bit more. And it would appear RPC bind, that could actually have been the original author that uploaded it himself to see how detected it was. Not that it really matters with Linux malware, because as I mentioned in the previous video, the Linux security ecosystem, especially in terms of having signature scanning, is pretty weak. There is ClimAV, which, it wouldn't have detected this one. It would have detected the other one, which can help, especially when you're dealing with skidded GitHub malware. Because it's pretty, especially for rats, which have enough behavior in them that it's going to be pretty hard to obfuscate it to the point where none of it is visible. You do see more indicators of compromise. And it does seem like, there's definitely a trend here, and this person was able to get in contact with people involved in the AUR, and I agree with this. Yes, people should read their package builds, but they don't. So there's got to be something has to be done, at least in this period where there seems to be elevated risk. And here we can actually see the previous version that had this malicious malware. So what it would do is in here, it had everything that it should have had, and then it's got this little stub here, Python, curl. Yikes. So every time this would launch, what was hosted at this URL? I'll see if there's an archive of this anywhere. Doesn't seem there is. Yeah, and then that drops and runs a RPC bind as a systemd service. Yeah, I think this is a thing. Like, what they could do is put restrictions on things which might, because some AUR helpers have tab completion, so things that could be tab completed or just look very similar, they could do that. Yeah, it's the same person behind this. Some people are saying it may have been, and then it came back as chrome-bin. Now that one is also gone and did the same thing. Yeah, used to be all right. It's interesting because right before this whole controversy started, I was actually starting to work on, and I'm still kind of working on it, a bulk scan of the AUR4 malware. And then this happens, and it's like, okay, this is real. There's definitely, there's always the question of, is this just insecure but not really being exploited? You know, like a funny example is, of course, TempleOS has no security whatsoever, proudly. Doesn't really get pwned, but it could. And now this has gone to something like where, okay, yeah, this is insecure and people have figured out how to take advantage. Yes, and the guy also learned that posting on Reddit saying, I love the AUR, which is why I created this weird AUR package, not cool. Not a good idea. Yeah, I like that. I like the idea of, I don't know, put like a blue check on it. Yeah, for major packages. Another one I would consider, I don't like totally understand if there's a legal blocker to doing this, but for something like Google Chrome, it might be worth considering whether that should be moved out of the AUR and to the official packages. Another thing I noticed, this isn't directly related to malware, but when I was going through my AUR packages, I just, oh, this isn't the AUR. That's why I went to the wrong thing. That's why I couldn't find it. Now, it's not a malicious package, just so we're clear. I'm not accusing anyone of spreading malware here. But I did notice something really concerning, and that is that the dependency for this got swapped from the official site to archive.org. Now, the uploader here actually had a good reason for that. It's definitely something like an AI package build auditor should catch. But I was like, okay, wait a second. I did check. There isn't anything exactly wrong going on here. The reason is because there's a bunch of authentication walls to download it. I believe this is not the official way of doing things, but it just really, I was panicked. I luckily I hadn't ran it, but I was going through my package build and I was like, what is this doing here? And I thought I'd found something. Luckily I hadn't, but that kind of stuff as well, that's a nightmare, because it's one thing to have an AUR package that just automates downloading from the official source or automates the post, because the reason why we need this is getting VMware Workstation going on Linux is a bit of a chore. We can actually see this if we go down, and you can see, okay, so we have some patches we got to do, and then all of this, and that's why this AUR package build exists for this. So better solution, although a bit inconvenient, another program I use, it's on the AUR, is you download the zip and then you run make package yourself. It's annoying, but, and that's why it says file here, that's a way. And yeah, there is this SHA-256 sum, but the problem with that is that that's set by the package maintainer. So if the package maintainer wanted to swap something out, that doesn't really help. Yeah. Minimal screening, it could be automated by our amateurs trying to infect the AOR. Well, because it works. It's like being a small cyber criminal doesn't pay. Like, I don't know if there's a better way of saying this, but what I mean is I've seen small stuff, and I've also seen very successful dumb stuff. And ultimately, cybercrime is not about hiding the most sophisticated polymorphic code in the code cave. It's about getting something that's going to infect people, and whatever this guy was trying to do, I don't know if he's just doing this for the lulz or if he has some sort of plan behind this. Yeah, and other people getting concerned here. No, it wouldn't, but that's why this one was clever. Yeah, write a script. Yeah, my thought is write some sort of LLM wrapper that would send the code and you'd get some sort of a confidence back. It's not going to be perfect, And of course, if it became popular, then someone could try and just keep hitting it until they found a way around it. Also, yeah, with the naming convention, right? So Google Chrome, which creates a binary called Google Chrome-stable, Google Chrome Beta, Dev. So I can see why someone might think Google Chrome-stable is the real one. Well, the cons, Linux getting more popular, I'm afraid. Yeah, no, I share this sentiment, as I said in the previous video. Desktop Linux security, despite what people may have heard, is not super strong. And I should, because I read the comments on the previous time I talked about this. Yes, it is important to say that Linux, or GNU/Linux, which is a more correct term for like the overall system, is not a monolithic system that is always the same. I'm purely meaning like the average setup that, like, let's say the median GNU/Linux user on the Steam survey is using. There's stuff you can do. SE Linux can help with exploits. There is ClamAV. A lot of what you're running is open source, so you can read or have an automated tool read the code for you. There is a lot you can do security-wise, but there's a lot more action required. Windows Defender, which comes with Windows, is not a great system, but it provides a baseline that means that if you skid a rat off of GitHub and don't pack it, that is not going to be a successful attack on Windows. It just isn't. There's definitely more that needs to be done, hopefully in a freedom-respecting and open source manner. So that's really going to be all for this video. I do encourage the person behind this, because people tend to watch videos about their malware campaigns. Not as anonymous as you think. I really suggest you move along. Having a criminal record is not fun in your life, and if you keep doing this, this is going to become this is not going to end well. But even if that guy quits or goes to jail, that does not mean everything is safe. Read your package builds. If you see a new AUR package pop up, don't immediately trust it. And if you are using an AUR helper, it's a good idea, just so you have an idea of what you're installing, to go on the actual AUR page and search for what you want, and just make sure you're using a package that looks the part, not something that looks weird. So that's all from me for now. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Bye.